Hey folks, welcome to Bear Mountain today. Today we're out in the tomato patch, and one of the things we do this time of year when the green tomatoes are forming is we give our tomato plants a foliar feed of lactic acid bacteria, LAB, and water-soluble calcium, or also known in Korean natural farming as WCA. Now what this does is the calcium actually helps the tomatoes in terms of avoiding what we call blossom end rot. That can also be done when you plant too. Make sure you put enough calcium in the planting hole. But we like to make certain that we just add just a little bit extra because it also helps sweeten up the fruit. The lactic acid bacteria that we add into the solution actually helps it get into the plant itself. So it helps just in a general sense to enhance the growing of the tomato plant and the growing of the tomatoes itself. So the calcium is the key though to kind of sweeten up the fruit as it begins to age. And we'll do this at least twice during this growing season. Right now we are at pretty much the middle of August, and we'll do it again in a couple of weeks towards the end of August. So let me show you how we mix it up. The item on the left here, this is our lactic acid bacteria, or LAB, we made a couple of months ago, and we did videos on that and how to do that. And this over here is the water-soluble calcium that we made. This is actually a batch from last year, and this is about all that we have left, but it's made from eggshells that have been charred. So what we're going to do in a gallon sprayer is we're going to put 4 milliliters, or if you don't have a milliliter measurement, you can use a teaspoon, which is 5 milliliters. It's a little bit more. So it's going to make the solution about 750 to 1. In other words, 1 part WCA to about 750 parts of water. And the same thing would hold true for the LAB. Somewhere between a 1 to 1,000 and a 1 to 700 is really acceptable. So it just kind of depends on, what you have to measure it. In our case, we've got, I brought both of these guys out here, but this is just it has a 10 milliliter, actually I think it goes to 12. And so what we'll do is we'll put 4 milliliters of each solution in our gallon sprayer, and then we'll foliar feed from that. So this is actually, what we're going to do is we're just going to pull in at least, I'll try to go for 5. So that way I can, looks like I got a nice air bubble in there. But actually, if I look at it, I'm right about 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I'm 4 even with the air bubble in there. So that's what I'll use in my sprayer. And then on my WCA, now you notice that one of the things, WCA, it's not a biologic solution, it's actually a chemical solution. After you treat the eggshells with vinegar, what it forms is calcium acetate, and that's essentially what's left in here. And so you don't have to worry about having a breathable top on it because there isn't really anything breathable to worry about it. But I do store the LAB when it's in the fridge. I do put a paper towel top over it because it is a living solution. Okay, so I've got 4 milliliters of the calcium solution. And it doesn't seem like much, but that's all it takes. Then I just fill my sprayer up. Oh boy, looks like I put a little dirt in there. Well, that'll be fun to clean out. Okay, that's roughly a gallon, a little bit more. It's not that big of a deal. And that's what we'll do to spray the plants. And we do this at sunset. It's not a soak on the plants, but it's basically enough to get enough coating around the fruits and on the foliage. Okay, the first plants we're doing, these are determinate tomatoes, and it's a determinate type of saucing tomato or aroma style. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of making sure that I coat the foliage just enough. It's not so much that it's dripping wet, but that I've kind of covered under the leaves and make sure I got the entire plant. Now these guys here, you can see I've already got tomatoes set on. And so I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just gonna make sure that I got it on the plant itself. And these guys are already growing up pretty tall. So the LAB will also help it's a little bit of a bioactivator on the surface of the leaves. It'll kind of outcompete anything that might be pathogenic on it too. And it'll help with the calcium acetate's actually pretty easy to absorb into the plant. And so it'll all kind of work together in a nice symbiotic way. So anyway, that's about it. I mean, I'll spray all the plants and you know, the idea is to do this at nighttime because LAB is a live bacterial thing, and the plants are going to be more receptive to taking the material in and working with it overnight. You know, the usual routine between open stomatas, closed stomatas, that sort of thing. And then also too, that the material won't evaporate off really fast, and so it'll be more effective from the plant itself. So that's it, and it's just it's an enhancer. It just kind of helps sweeten the fruit a little bit as it develops, and also will give the plant a little extra calcium, because tomatoes are they're big on calcium. So, and the calcium, a lack of calcium is is a major cause towards blossom end rot. So any way you can get calcium into your soil through your fertilizer or your additions when you plant, you know, as well as maybe liquid fertilizers that you use, heavier calcium tends to really help the tomatoes. And this spray is just another little bit of an enhancement. So thought I'd share that tip with you guys this week. Want to thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.